Hey guys, Mackay here with Ironside Ranch. Today we're going to talk about cow minerals. Hey, before I forget, remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, guys. That really does help us out. It makes a huge difference, and it's just a way that you can kind of get back to some of the information that we're doing here. Okay, guys, I know it's been a while since we've done a video, and I apologize about that. We've had a lot going on, different plantings coming in. We've had lots of new livestock. We've sold off some livestock. Just had a ton going on here. My other business, which is my primary income, has been doing just phenomenal lately, so we just really haven't had a ton of time. We've also been setting up water lines and permanent water stations around the farm and doing some more fencing. So we're going to go over all that stuff in later videos and kind of show you how we did that and how we made our watering system for our cattle stupid easy, where we don't have to manage it. We just check for leaks every morning as part of our chores, and that's it. Anyways, I wanted to go over how we do our minerals, and we've tried several different methods. You can see we got the protein bucket here from TSC, but this protein bucket, we've used up all the protein, and I have elected to move away from that, because those protein buckets, as well as the salt licks and stuff that you get at the local co-op, a lot of those have a lot of chemicals in the processing or just in them in general, and so we're trying to stay away from that stuff, and we're trying to keep our cattle away from all that chemicals and all that processing. And we wanted something that was very natural. And we didn't really find anything that we were looking for at first, and then until we read Salad Bar Beef by Joel Salatin. If you haven't read that book and you're doing any type of grazing operation, it's a phenomenal book. I highly recommend it. Put a link for it down in the description. But really, he came up with this recipe, and we I think we altered his just a little bit, but we did a little bit more research and found some other things that we wanted to do. But the base of it is you have to understand each individual component. So cattle need a lot of salt in their diet, and for various things. And then we also want that salt to have some impurities, because they need those nutrients and those minerals that are in the impurities. So we elected to use Himalaya salt. Now, Greg Judy, he uses a salt that's mined in Kansas. That's sea salt that's mined in Kansas, and that has similar impurities to it. So there's various options out there. We use Himalaya salt. We have good access to it. It's affordable, and we personally use it for us as far as a table salt. And so and the impurities in there have a lot of trace minerals that are great for the cattle. So that's why we use it. We don't do it based on the snake juice claims of it, and that it'll cure everything. That's not what we care about. If those things are true, great, but I've seen no science whether it's true or not true, so I personally haven't done much research into it. What I care about is the mineral impurities in there, which are actually the minerals that my cows need. Now, the next thing that we do is we mix dried seaweed or kelp with it, and that dried seaweed is loaded with nothing but minerals, and it's super healthy for them. Gives them lots of vitamin B, lots of the minerals that the cows actually need. You can see what that looks like when it's all mixed up. And this is a little bit wet, so because it's been raining out here, but we'll go into that in just a second. But anyway, so you can look up the minerals in the kelp individually. I'll see if I can find something to post in the description. But those kelp minerals are just phenomenal. Now, the last thing is the diatomaceous earth. We do use diatomaceous earth because that's part of our worming program here. Now, we don't use diatomaceous earth exclusively. If we have a big worming problem, we're going to have to do some type of chemical treatment. But our customers prefer us to avoid the chemical treatments whenever possible, and so we don't do it as a general practice. Our worming practice is rotating the animals, buying good heritage breed livestock that are worm resistant and parasite resistant, and giving them a regular supply and access to diatomaceous earth to help fight off those parasites. Diatomaceous earth does help fight off the parasites, the extent of which is what is highly debated and contested, but we know that the diatomaceous earth does strengthen their immune system towards those, and so that's why we add it in here. Now, the ratios that we mix this with is we mix it 50-50, so 50 pounds of salt to 50 pounds of seaweed. Then we add 10 pounds of diatomaceous earth, and so total is 110 pounds, and we mix that all up. We add it in thirds of a batch at a time, a third of a bag at a time, and then we mix it using a paddle mixer on a drill bit. I don't recommend that, but that's about the only way that we have to mix it right now. I'm actually going to be making a mineral mixer at some point in time out of a food grade barrel, so we'll get to that and hopefully get this stuff mixed up a little bit better using that here in the future. That's the long-term plan. Now, you can just leave this straight out on pasture. The rain's not going to hurt it at all. The salt obviously is not going to mold, and the diatomaceous earth is not hurt at all by the rain. The only thing in here that's going to happen is your kelp is going to get a little bit greener. You can see that's very green. The kelp's going to get a little bit greener from that water hitting it. But there's no mold or mildew. The salt's going to keep all that down, so it's not a problem for it at all. If you really are worried about it, you can drill some small tiny holes to drain water out the bottom, but again, this has just been sitting out. It's a rainy season right now in Alabama, and this has just been sitting out. The salt absorbs everything, and it hasn't shown to be a problem yet. So suppose if you had a big monsoon coming, you might want to put it inside, but otherwise we don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine out here on pasture. That mix that we gave you, we're seeing right now how long it's going to last. We have at any given time about 10 cows currently. We'll have about 20 probably going into this winter, but we have about 10 cows currently. I'm thinking this is going to last us about 6 months, but we'll see. They do like it. They come after it quite a bit. We see them over here all the time. We gave them the choice between this and a salt lick. They have gradually moved 100% to this. They no longer even touch the salt lick. So at first they kind of went back and forth for a while, but after a few weeks, this is all they use. So we've been really happy with this mix. Joe Soliton's results kind of speak for themselves as far as what he's been able to do with it. So it's just a great feed mix or mineral mix, guys. If you're looking for something for your cattle, or if you just want to know what we're using. So if you're looking at buying our products and you want to know how we're doing it, this is how we do it. It's all natural and just really good, solid for the animal's immune system, and we're just trying to beef that up. So guys, I really appreciate you watching. I know this wasn't the most exciting video. We do have some more stuff coming out here in the future. I've got a chainsaw basics video coming up that I'm in the middle of shooting all the footage for that. We'll have another, actually we're going to do a second high tensile vents 101 video, because we're going to go over some new lessons learned. And we found a really good way of doing pasture fence, setting up a very inexpensive, good pasture fence that'll hold in pigs, cows, and sheep. And so we're going to go over that in a little bit more detail here in a future video. Other than that, guys, stay with us. I know it's a busy season for us, so we may not have as many videos out as we would like, but they will be coming. So just bear with us here as we get through this busy season. So thanks again for watching.